Ladies and gentlemen, an accurate assessment of threat posed by the LTT and meticulous evaluation of the engineer requirement on the battlefield pave the way to formulate an engineer plan to accomplish mobility whilst countering the enemy mobility to provide much needed support for successful completion of humanitarian operations. Sappers were involved in the early stage of planning and reconnaissance to facilitate the forecast of possible tasks and resources. Responding to critical and timed requirements, directions were initiated to expand field engineer capabilities, including the forming of an independent bridging squadron. Individual skills of soldiers were developed to face the challenges of operation in multiple fronts. Therefore, training conducted at the Sri Lanka School of Military Engineering ensured the battle readiness of soldiers to meet the existing threat. Additionally, training of infantry soldiers on assault pioneer tasks and training of small groups became mandatory to compensate ever-increasing demand for sappers. In order to maintain the simultaneity and tempo in multiple battlefronts across the theatre, engineer assets were task organized with maneuver formations to maintain forward momentum and ensure routes are open for follow-up tasks and logistic support. The threat posed by the LTT in all theatres, including the population centres in the southern part of the country, was the utilization of deadly lethality of explosives to maximum possible degree to cause destruction to human lives and property. The mines and IEDs, coupled with destructive innovations, were among the most effective armament in the LTT arsenal. Well-positioned and strongly fortified LTT positions were heavily infested with mines and booby traps, which were laid without any pattern and disregarding the law of armed conflict. Basically, following a trial and error rule, sappers learned fast and promptly innovated counter techniques such as improvised Bangalore torpedoes to create gaps to attack LTT defences. The knowledge gained was shared across the theatre, including the infantry troops, thus compelling the LTT to change its techniques and pattern of operations frequently. As operations progressed, LTT changed its pattern of operation to Dichkunban concept, thus increasing the demand for sappers. DCBs were strongly fortified with mines and heavy concentration of trappings of numerous varieties. When fighting took place in built-up areas, troops encountered the most deadliest innovations of the LTT. With a deep understanding of the terrorist mindset, coupled with patience and experience and creative thinking, helped sappers to equally stand up to the challenges. Lack of roads and tracks for combat service support posed a greater challenge to engineers. Earth-moving machinery was allotted to maneuvering formations with mobile repair teams to improve lines of communications. The bridging squadron forwarded them necessary equipments to construct and repair the bridges destroyed by the LTT. In support of armour, mechanized infantry and artillery, sappers constructed elevated firing positions, gun positions close to the baselines using earth-moving machinery, at times adopting deception measures to overcome the limitation of noise. Whilst humanitarian operations were in progress, bomb disposal teams attached to the field formations in population centres worked tirelessly to avoid human catastrophes caused by LTT IEDs and suicide bombers. Meanwhile, island-wide awareness programs were conducted for the public in workplaces, schools, etc., and also through the electronic and print media. Ladies and gentlemen, in next few slides, I would like to share some lessons learned during humanitarian operations. Firstly, learn and adapt. Sappers function in a climate of a learning organization across all theatres. Field commanders firmly stressed on bottom-up learning, on ever-changing pattern of operations of the LTT, and the knowledge gained in the learning was promptly used to adapt new tactics and techniques. Training provided to infantry assault pioneers and small groups paid dividends, and realistic training greatly increased the efficiency. The next lesson is learn faster than enemy. Rapidly changing situations in the battlefield demand us as sappers to learn faster. Though the fighting cadres of the LTT was academically less qualified, their power of innovation was as good as any professional military force. Hence, it was imperative that the sappers at all costs were one step ahead of the enemy to gain the initiative. Another important lesson is build confidence and promote in mission command. Dynamic and high-intensity ambiguous battle environment and simultaneous application of combat power in a wider frontage provided great space for subunit commanders to use initiative, whilst learning and adapting, thus building self-confidence. Next, let me enlighten you on purpose and scope of engineer deployment. Requirement of bridging and earth-moving equipment was foreseen in the planning. Minimum maintenance and availability of spares for machines greatly reduced the off-road time, and forward position of spare machines and bridging equipment in pre-designated locations provided uninterrupted support for the operations. Synchronization of action was vital for the success of operations, as efficient execution of follow-up engineer tasks insisted on synchronization of actions across the entire battlefront. The bridging squadron undertook many follow-on tasks of erecting replacement bridges across dry and wet gaps, which were created due to terrorist action, as allotted engineer troops had already moved ahead with frontline troops. Now, let me explain continuity in flow of resources. The systematic and uninterrupted flow of men and equipment greatly contributed to sustain the momentum of the operations without a force in offensive timeline, thus retaining the initiative. Priority on mobility tasks, also a very important lesson that we experienced. Planning and allocation of resources had to be precise to keep the momentum of the operations and ensure that line of communications were kept open to build combat power and logistics without delay. The unhindered offensive posture resulted in less commitment for counter mobility and survivability tasks. Last but not least, importance of human intelligence and imagery intelligence. Data and information collected through human intelligence and imagery intelligence became invaluable in forecasting engineer tasks, thus facilitating the smooth implementation of the plan. Ladies and gentlemen, providing combat engineer support in a counterinsurgency environment demands changing of assumptions regularly, ability to adapt, and mission command. Ground commanders and troops responded to the need with lots of innovation, commitment and dedication, despite a great risk involved and at times under extremely adverse weather conditions. Formulating the combat engineer plan to counter the threat posed by the LTT, which had a wide spectrum ranging from an improvised explosive device that violates the law of armed conflict in the battle to a suicide bomber in a busy town was an uphill task. The famous military quotation by Sun Tzu perhaps best explained the role played by the sappers in humanitarian operations. Thank you.